sake. Jesus Christ. Shouldn't have to work in these conditions. You should see what I've got here and you're laughing. Fucking right, bodge job. Can our gratis do have to do this?
No, they don't. They don't.
Cord, got 1 bar. Mint. Is it ready with me or is it red hot in here?
Red hot, I've turned it off.
Jesus Christ, I'm alright, swell.
It hasn't been on for ages. Unless it's turned its sound back on.
Right. Right, so I keep getting asked about fishing, lure fishing during winter, tips and advice and a few questions. I thought I'd just get a few lures out and have a look at and try and give you a few ideas. First of all, one of the big questions that you get asked is about lure fishing in winter. Does it still work? Well, yeah, it does. We fish with lures all the way through winter. We might have a go on bait sometimes just for a bit of a change or just to try something, but lures work. Pike eat fish, and not all fish are sat dead on bottom at river or whatever, so your lure's just imitating a fish in it, an injured bait fish, and you're always going to catch fish, so stick with it. It can be hard. The biggest thing is finding your fish. This time of year the bait shoals have moved to somewhere sheltered, somewhere a little bit out of the way. That could be deep water. It could be between, if it's a canal, it could be under boats or bridges and things like that, marinas, that kind of thing. So bait fish have moved to those sort of places. Not all of them, but a good chunk of fish, a good chunk of pike, will follow them. What you'll get sporadic jacks hanging about somewhere else, you know. But your main bunch of fish will be somewhere near them prey fish, or often anyway. So find the bait fish and you'll find the pike. So look for those kind of features, a little bit sheltered. On rivers, obviously, there's not always as much shelter, so deep holes, big bends in river, you'll probably find a deep spot somewhere. So sometimes the only way of finding out how deep it is casting out a lure and letting it sink. So a soft shad or something like, a pig shad for example, cast it out, count it down, watch how fast it sinks, 1 foot per second for example, and then if it takes 10 seconds to sink, there you go. Even Eddie can work it out, 10 foot deep. So try and work it out and get to know your swims, and you'll figure something out. If you're casting into 4 foot of water, there's a good chance it's not going to be full of fish. But if you find someone that's, let's say, 20 foot of water, there might be something there. Reading the water itself, looking at how the river's flowing. You better see where there's maybe a bit of current and a bit of slack water. So look for those kind of things. It is harder. You're not guaranteed to catch straight away. There's sometimes small feeding windows that don't feed all day long every day, so it can be small feeding windows. So if you might be in a swim that's full of fish, but still not catching anything because they're not really feeding. I get asked about what kind of lures to use, so I thought I'd just go through a few more lures and give you some ideas. Straight away, a lot of you will expect me to say this, and I use baits. I use them all year long. Me and Eddie use baits. My light's flickering. My light's going. That's not distracting at all, is it? It's like a disco in here. Right. Oh my god. Vicky, I'm gonna have an epileptic fit. What's happening? There's a party here. That's pointing at me. Yeah. As I start doing the video. Fantastic. Bloody stopped. Will it last? No, it won't. Can't remember what charger it is. Which charger? Oh shite. Oh, now it's dark and dingy. Oh, I'm going in there. I don't know how up to. Right, so I've just lost my spotlight, which would actually give me some nice lighting. So that's why the picture looks a bit different. Right, so yeah, so you know I use squirrely baits, and a lot of you, I don't know, seem to think that that can be the answer to your problems, and we use them because we've got confidence in them. But there's plenty of other lures that catch fish. Price of these has gone up a lot because they're hard to get hold of, and you know a lot of people are wanting them. So I thought I'd give you a few ideas of other things you can use. We've not always used a squirrely bait. You know, you sometimes change as well. You get favourites and you change. So I'll give you a few more ideas, and then we'll talk about, you know, some lures that you could put in your bag that'll catch your fish. So what we got here? That's a Savage Gear lip lure, 19cm, and that's quite a new one actually. I pulled it, that was a brand new one. I pulled it out of the bag, got it out of box actually, a brand new box that I've been saving for ages. Just started using it again. It's got loads of teeth marks on it. It's battered and bruised. And to prove it works, and to prove it's not just baits that catch fish, this is me just digging into my box lures. I'm always swapping and changing. I'm always, you know, sometimes grabbing a lure that I ain't used for a while. I thought, I'll give that a little swim. And when we had the tail on, I put a curly tail on that one, but it's this isn't it. But if you look there, every single one of those has lost its paint. They've had so many fish. So you don't need to watch a video of me and Ada catching fish on the lure. Straight away, them lures there have just got no paint on them. It's virtually see-through as that one. The catch fish. You can get these from most shops. You won't get in that colour because Savage Gear and the Infinite Wisdom decided to discontinue Rainbow Trout, which were my favourite. But they do other colours, and I can't find any. I've got some somewhere. They do other colours. They do one like this now. That's for Rainbow Smalt. Not as good as Rainbow Lip Lure, but they catch fish. You'll get them from all your, you know, probably your local tackle shops. So you can probably go into the shop and get one of these. They come in a few sizes, and they catch your fish. Simple swim bait, jointed swim bait. Cast it, wind it in. It wiggles. It looks like a fish. You see, if you look on some of the older videos, I've done one with a low rider. Stop, go. Swim it for a bit, stop, let it sink. Swim it for a bit, stop. That'll trigger a fish and they'll catch a fish. Simple as that. The only reason I don't use them as much is because I'm enjoying using jerkbaits and birds and various things. So get something like that. Try not to get every hook stuck in your finger like I've just done. They catch fish. I'll put one back in my bag. No, what? Thank you. So it's about variety. It's about having confidence in your lures, but it's about variety as well. Having something different. So let's say we put that. We picked a Savage Gear lip lure, put in his bag. We want something to mix it up a little bit, something different. Well, we've got another crankbait, so you don't have to get a lip lure. There's another crankbait, and that's a Riverpiker. You know, Riverpikers are good, make good lures. Super shad rat. It's pretty much a legend in lure fishing. I mean, that's brand new. It's not been used, that one, so it's got no teeth marks on it. But they catch fish, simple as that. Cast it out, wind it in, and the great lures have got a lot of flash on them. They'll just catch your fish. So that's a, you know, injured bait fish, distressed bait fish. Got a lot of wiggle and a lot of flash. Not jointed, no rattle. But I'm getting phone from work now. This is what I have to put up with. Can't FaceTime because I'm in the middle of doing this and it's connecting to my GoPro and God. No wonder I can't get videos done, is there?
No.
I can't do anything because something always happens.
No.
Where's his number? Battery's gone on that now. There we go. I'm struggling to connect on FaceTime. You know, it's not your penis again, is it? Please tell me it's not your penis again. Yes. Yeah. Alright, got. Yep, see you after that. I can't remember where we're up to. That's been filming for the last 20 minutes. Yep, so can't remember where I was because I've another. First I've had light go, and now I've had a phone call in between trying to make this film. So I was talking about something about Riverpiker shad, super shad wrap. So just another crankbait. You could have both. So you've got a swimbait and a crankbait. You could have one, or you could have one or other. You've pretty much covered most of it, but you can either take loads of lures or just a few, can't you? There's other options of lures that you can take. So a lot of you have seen me using. That's battery gone on that one. Anything else that wants to cock my video up? So you've seen us using jerkbaits a lot recently, and a lot of you started asking about jerkbaits and things, and you know, we use jerkbait because we enjoy them, but also they do catch fish. It's not just about that. Here I've got another cobs. You see me, whatever it is, my crappie, like a fire tiger sort of bright green thing. My crappie cobs. Well, this is a different one. I got a Chico. This is a darker one just for the dark silhouette. That one a bit of the opposite. Jerkbait that works. Jerkbait that costs you, 20 quid. But it's also a jerkbait that's really difficult to get hold of, so you're going to struggle. You get one of these on eBay, it'll cost you a lot of money because people know that they can see such as myself using it and do want to make some money out of it. So there's other options out there, so you don't have to get a cobs jerkbait. Jerkbait. I'm going to have fun digging them all out of here, but we've got Muppet, hard plastic, Musky Mania Magic Maker, catches fish. We've got I do use all these, by the way. I do take them out every now and again and give them a run, but you only take so many lures with you. Musky Magic, I think that's Musky Magic Instigator. Catches fish, comes in a couple of sizes as well, that one. I spoke about Matt Holmes before. They're not easy to get hold of, but another jerkbait that works. Matt Holmes, Ryan Lambert's creations, they work. There's loads, but you don't have to go for the expensive ones. You can go for there's the Buster Jerk that works. If you've seen me videos of Buster Jerks, they catch fish. Got a rattle inside them as well, like the Musky Magic Maker. That's got a rattle inside it, so it can be something different. But easy to get hold of lures that work. Salmo Slider, simple though, comes in floating version and sinking version, so it's up to you what you want to get. Salmo Sweeper, that works. The easy lures. Mantas, River Run Manta, I've spoke about those before. So you don't have to get the cobs. You don't have to copy everything we get. They'll all work. They're all doing that, covering that same thing. So you put a different jerkbait in, and I'll put in Ryan's lure, something different. That's quite a nice lure to use, that. So we've got 3 lures there, slightly different to what I might take one day, I'll take it a different other day. So I try to think of something different. Adi likes his replicants, big soft shad, fishing deeper water. It's got like a big single up there. It's got a weight at the front of it in this part of it there. So it sinks really well. It gets you right down in deep water. So especially when you're fishing reservoirs or 20-30 foot of river, it gets it down. But there's other versions. Pig shad, big soft shad that gets it down there. It works. It catches fish. Have I got one that's? I ain't got one that's chewed up. Somebody asked me recently about a Savage Gear reel eel. Reel eels I used to use a few years ago. I switched to the. Have I got one? I have got one somewhere in this soft thing. That's it. Here we go. You've seen that in some videos. My Savage Gear 3D hard eel. I lost a bit of confidence in it. It was in my top five lows. Catching fish, that one's battered and bruised. There's nothing wrong with it. But I had a couple little that broke here. So I've kind of lost a bit of confidence. So it put me back onto the Savage Gear reel eel. And Savage Gear reel eels have caught me some fish. And if you look at somewhere in here, I don't know if you can see this. That is I'll put it on both cameras. That is how I got hook in my eye. That is a reel eel that's caught fish. That actually caught me a 25 pounder. That's the reason I'm not throwing it away. Its face is all deformed because I tried to mill it into shape once when it were all chewed up, but it's absolutely ripped to pieces. In fact, that picks it up on the camera, but absolutely ripped to pieces. Got me a 25 pounder. It's a lure that works. That's a 40cm version. I think that's motor oil. I've got purple, I've got another motor oil in there, I've got black. They all work. What they often come with is a lighter jig head. That says 9 grams on it. So it comes with a 9 gram jig head. I've got one in my bag. What have I put on there? 40 gram jig head. So put my own 40 gram jig head on that one. So that'll fish deeper water. But obviously, a lighter jig head, you can fish it really slow retrieve. That one you might have to speed it up a little bit more. Unless you're in deep water, it'll help you fish it slow in deep water. So you've got options there, and it's a lure that captures. It's in my boat bag for example. So stick that in this collection. So we've got a bit of variety there. You've seen wolf tails before. Umpteen times we use wolf tails. Looks a little bit similar to an eel, to be honest, but something different. Got a bit of a wobble on the front. Another softie. Savage Gear rattle trout. Again, you can go into any shop and buy these. They catch fish. It's just a big shad. It's like a big relaxed copy toe. Catches fish. Looks a bit more realistic. It's got a rattle in its tail, and they catch fish. They come in I think they come in a couple of versions, like a slow sink and a faster sink. So try and use it to suit your waters that you're fishing. Think about what you're doing, and so straight away you've got bit of variety there. And there you might not have my bait, my cobs. You know what you see is often using, but whatever lures. But you've got something that's doing exactly the same thing. You've got a few different varieties. Right, so I'm back again. Back they went on my camera again, on my other camera. My video making is going a little bit like my fishing lately. Everything seems to go wrong, everything seems to be making it harder for me, but I'll plug on. So let's say we've got these 5 lures. Now if you want to, you could just go fishing with those 5 lures. You could double it up, you could have twice as many or 3 times as many, whatever. You could take loads of lures. You could probably add to that spinnerbait actually if you wanted to, just in case your river were a little bit murky. Big spinnerbait like. gives you a little bit more variety. I must admit I don't tend to use spinnerbaits that much. I just don't seem to have much luck on them. There's a smaller Savage Gear one that you can buy. These are American ones, you know, big musky ones, but you can get the Savage Gear ones. I think they're called the Bush. They catch fish. Good option to have on a murky river or a murky canal. But you've pretty much covered a lot of stuff there. You could only take one softie or two softies, up to you. One crank or two cranks. Jerkbait. What else do you want to do? You know, you can cover. You can think about, you know, getting a jerkbait that's a bright colour, Fire Tiger, like the bright colour of that one. Or you could get a dark one. But how many loads are you going to carry out with you? How many different things are you going to try? You could try a jerkbait that's dark and a jerkbait that's light, but is it going to give you that much of a difference, or that much of a change? I'm confident that if I went into a swim and there were a pike that were hungry, that were in feeding mode, or that were, you know, I could get in, or I could trigger into feeding mode, whether it be that one or that one, they both would work the same. So jump one back, and you need options. So what I might do is I might roll up to a swim and I might cast that handmade jerkbait or a bust jerk, for example, because I want to catch on a jerkbait. So first of all, if there's a pike that's feeding, you can catch it on a dog turd if you want, if they were feeding, but I'd rather catch it on that than a dog turd. So that's what I'll go with. Something I like to use, something that's a bit fun. Not always easy to hook up, because you can sometimes, as you're jerking it, you jerk it out, away from a fish and you end up missing, but that's just tough to eat, innit? But I might often sneak up to a swim, and my first load I'd chuck in. I try and go for a bit of a quiet approach, so it's not a buster jerk that's got loads of noise. It's a nice little quiet one, so I'll probably cast this, probably past the swim and bring it back through nice and steady, get the attention, and hopefully that'll do a trick. It's going to work in the top 2 or 3 foot. You can probably work it a little bit slower and let it sink a little bit more and hook it a little bit deeper. It's not typically a deep low, but pike will come up over whatever, 15 foot, 16 foot, they'll come up and take that. If they're in a feeding mode, they're looking up, pike are sat on the bottom, their eyes are looking forward and looking up, they'll see that on the surface. Imagine if you're at the bottom of a river and you're looking up, it's going to be light in it, so you're going to see this dark thing flashing about. So they will come up and take it. If they don't, that could be because they're not quite switched on. It could be that they've had quite a bit of stick from other people fishing. A lot of people fishing these days. A lot of people lure fishing, they've seen that whiz past them umpteen times. So you might have to get a lure down in the face. Now, first of all, I might switch to something like a crank. Bit more flash, bit more vibration. That might get their attention. There's no rattle on that, but it does make a little bit of a noise as it's moving. But it's going to be doing that in the water. With a crankbait, I mean, there's coming a couple of versions, a sinking version or a floating version. If you've got the floating version, crank it down, let it float back up, crank it down, let it float back up. You'd be surprised how much that gets a hit. If it's the other version, crank it, let it sink, crank it, let it sink. And it can be those pauses, them sinks or them floats that does a trick. So something to try and trigger the hit. You can use it fast, or you can do a really slow retrieve and just get it to lazily wobble. All those things that you can try, and you've covered a few things of that. And if you're still not seeing a fish, if you've still not caught a fish, then you need to get right on bottom, you need to get right down there. So I'll probably put something like an eel on, cast it out, let it sink. And you've got quite big hooks on them, so you want, obviously we're using heavy gear, but you know, you want some strong tackle to get this, because you're going to snag up at some point. Be prepared to lose these at some point. It comes with a stinger. One thing with the Savage Gear ones, I'd double check the pre-made stinger that comes on it, test it, put it against a tree or something and pull, or you know, test it with pliers or whatever, because they have been prone to coming apart, which is not good. But you can make your own stinger, so make a weak stinger if you want. Make it with £30 trace wire that's going to break if you do get snagged up. You can always go for like I said, 30 or 40 pound, it'll break. But cast it out and get it down there. Learn your swims and sort of learn the depths, and you'll learn where snags are as well. So you might chuck a, what we've got, I've got up cheaper. I have somewhere. So here's a soft shad. I've got these in a bigger size. These come from a guy called Wayne Fletcher that makes them. And they come in a few versions, but you could chuck that. It's a cheaper lure than a Savage Gear one or a Rattle Trout or whatever. Chuck that, put it on a small jig head, a thin gauge hook on it, and like you say, a little stinger if you want. And if you get that hooked up, you'll probably get it back because it's a bit smaller than that. But you'll also, if you do lose it, it's a cheap lure. It's not as expensive as one of those. So they are a bit stupidly priced, to be honest with these. So chuck that in, learn your swim. You'll find out if there's snags, bumps, rocks, all that kind of thing. Once you've learnt it and you're happy, chuck these ones down, and they catch fish. Slow retrieve, real slow retrieve, and that tail just, you've got a bit of body rock on these, but that tail's just wiggling about at back, and they catch fish. Like I said, 25 pounder, I've had one on one of these. But also try the opposite. Go stupidly fast. Speed it up and go as fast as possible, because that tail flicking about gives off a bit of. Is that battery gone? Battery gone again. It's all three batteries gone. Anyway, that tail flicking away gives off a lot of distress and noise and vibration, and so it will get the attention, and sometimes that can be the difference. Slow one, they'll follow it, they'll look at it, and they just ignore it. Other times that speeding up is the key. Other things to try, like I said, these are coming in a heavier version, and that one, although you can't tell, that one's really light, small, but it's really light version, so it takes a while to get down. So you've got varying, you could take both obviously, but you've got varying retrieves. You've got a really slow sink or a really fast sink, and use that to your advantage. Bounce it off bottom, speed it up, stop it, start it, pause it, all them kind of things. That's all you need to do, and once you've done that, you've covered most stuff. If you haven't seen a pike in your swim and you've used those 5 lures, they're not there. Simple as that. I'll be honest, often I won't use that many lures. I'll probably go with the favourite one lure to wake them up. Now, I would often use something like, personally, where I put it, you've seen it when we other videos, dinner bell lure. If I'm on a really tough day, and I've looked at a swim that I think looks really good, and I've tried all my 5 lures, for example, or my 3 lures, or whatever I've decided to use, and I've not seen out, I then get to a point where I need to cover some water, because you might find that there might be, 2 mile of water with there's not that many fish in it. So one lure, quick chuck it through. That's got noise, it's got flash, it's got vibration. If there's a pike there and it's not been fished for recently, it'll come up and take it. You'll see a follow, you'll see something. So I'm not even 5 minutes is probably over top. 5 minutes in a swim, move on. 5 minutes in a swim, move on. Now if I went to a swim and whatever lure I used, I got a bit of attention and pike were on it and they're quite numerous, that's when I'd slow down. I think, right, take my time in each swim and give it a bit of time before you expect to hit. But if I'm struggling to find them, don't spend 10 and 15 minutes trying every lure, getting it down bottom of that. Pick one of them, decide that that's what I'm going to go for, and just go for it, and just try and cover some water and find some fish. First time you catch a fish, right, let me try and, is there any more of this? Now if you catch a skinny jack, I might have a pike somewhere. There we go. Now if you catch, and it'll happen, you catch a pike that big on that lure, and that takes pretty much straight away in that swim, there's a big chance there's nothing else there. There's going to be no big fish, because if that little jack's coming up to take that, it's probably a lone fish that's just trying to keep out of the way at big girls. So, you know, for a bit of fun, have a few more casts, see if anything else comes, but don't spend too much time there. I'll move on. Now the pike might not be far away, might not be in the next swim or whatever, but don't spend too much time, because there's a good chance there's not, in my opinion, there's a good chance there's nothing else big in there. What else? So yeah, so keep hopping, and like I say, if you get a bit of attention from something, you see something, you know, get a follow or something, that's when you want to change it. Facebook. So let's say you found a swim and you had a follow from a pike. They can be a bit funny this time of year. I fished Sunday morning and they seem to want to follow everything, seem to want to follow your lure and just not take. I tried different lures, different speeds and all this, and I couldn't get them to work, but that's all you can do is, they're a bit funny sometimes, but don't always just come up and take it, but try different things. That's when you go through your lures and whatever you've got, try different things. Fast retrieve, slow retrieve, different colours, vibration, noise, let it sink, bring it back up, stop start, all these different methods I've spoken about a million times before. Try it all. Think about resting it. Sometimes you sit, if you remember one epic day video, I fished it for a bit, caught a few fish, and then I rested it because I'd seen a big fish. I rested it and give it 20 minutes, half an hour or so, fished it again, and then I caught a big fish. And that can be a trick sometimes. One of Eddie's favourite tips, he spoke about yesterday at a meeting, is if you get a follow from a fish and you can't get it to take, walk downstream 10-15 yards and cast back up to the spot and cast at a different angle, and sometimes that can make them take, because they're not following in the same direction as they were before. They're not coming towards the bank where you are, they're going in a different direction, and that can make them take. And stick at it. It's not easy. We're going through a bit of a bad spell. We're catching a few fish, but no very no cats into finding a big fish. So we all have it tough. It's not always easy. Videos edited, it makes it look easy. I don't purposely make videos look easy, but we have it tough ourselves, and there's a lot of hard work goes into it. The only difference between such as lads that slow fish a little bit longer is they know a few spots where they can go catch some fish, so we go straight to those spots. We don't spend too much time fishing spots that we've never caught in before, whereas a lot of you are new, so you're fishing those spots that you've never fished before and you don't know if they're good or they're not any good. So fish them. Don't rule it out if you don't catch anything that there's no fish there, because it can be a pike or in a funny mood. We know one or two spots and there's some massive fish in it, but quite a few lads who I know has fished it can go and you can catch nothing, but you know the fish are there. But you might go fish that spot, for example, and you'll catch nothing, you'll think there's nothing there, but don't always think that. So give it a try it on different days. Keep your low sessions short. Try not to fish all day, because it's a bit of a ball breaker if you fish all day and you don't catch anything. Try and keep your sessions short. Put, like I say, 4 or 5 lures in a bag and go fish somewhere new. Try it out, see what happens. Give it a couple hours. Go home or go somewhere else and have a plan B. Somewhere totally different. Canals aren't working. Go try a pond or a lake or a reservoir or a river or whatever. You always need a plan B this time of year, because rivers are always in flood. Ponds are always flooded. Ponds are always iced up, and canals, if you've got a match on them, or at the minute there's that many people low fishing, you've nowhere to fish. So always have a plan B. Just keep at it. You'll catch fish. You just have confidence in your lures. Like I say, I've got 2 boxes full of lures here, and there's not one lure in there that won't catch a fish. You could even catch on a surface lure this time of year. It's not easy, but you would do if you stuck at it. And if all you use was a surface lure, stupid duck or a rat or something, you would catch a fish. I'm catching fish on jerkbait such as that works. It's often 6 foot under surface, so why won't they take a surface lure? They do. Whatever lure you use, it will catch a fish. You just got to stick at it and be confident. And this video mainly about pike fishing, but if you're watching this video and you're mainly a perch fisherman, do exactly the same thing. You might not have as many cranks and things, but you might have a crank to mix it up. But you know, have your drop shot, have your jig fishing, have your your, I don't know, crayfish on bottom, your Carolina rigs, whatever it is, all that kind of thing. Have a bit of variety, and that's all you can do is just try different things. And sometimes them fish are there, the perch are there, but they're just not always switched on. Sometimes just leaving a lure pretty much stationary in a spot is what'll work. So just like I said, stick at it, you'll catch some fish. It'll start to get easier, but this time of year, if you stick at it, there's a chance of a whacker. Oh, what else want to go wrong? Anything? Oh, want to break?